Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Welcome everyone. If you're joining us today, well, it's probably because you want a really clear, structured way to figure out exactly where commerce is heading. Today, we're going to explain the details of these topics by breaking down the foundational concepts behind the future of digital business analytics. So let's just jump right in and unpack what this actually means for the modern marketplace. So the big question right off the bat, why business analytics? And maybe more importantly, why right now? Whenever we start digging into a complex topic like this, it's incredibly easy to get lost in the weeds, right? The massive data sets, the complex software, the endless terminology. But actually, it all comes back to a single anchor. Everything we're going to process from here on out is a direct answer to why business analytics has become the absolute lifeblood of modern commerce.
To do that, we're going to follow a really clear roadmap today. First up, we'll learn the new paradigm. Then, we'll appreciate the new mechanisms. And finally, we will learn the future.
All right, moving into phase one, the new business paradigm.
Okay, we really have to understand the internet not just as a connection, but as the actual boundary network that defines modern reality. It's not just a tool businesses use to send emails or host a website anymore. It is literally the foundational framework that establishes the entire paradigm. Think about it. A boundary defines where something begins and ends, right? Well, in the digital age, the internet is the boundary in which all modern commerce exists. It's like the actual atmosphere of the business world now. If you aren't operating within this network, you functionally do not exist in the modern market. Zero.
To really get this, we have to contrast the old paradigm with this new boundary network. Think about the way things used to be for a second. We're talking physical storefronts, strict business hours, geographic constraints, mechanical cash registers, the whole shebang. That was the old rulebook. But now, the boundary network completely rewrites those rules from scratch. We are talking about a borderless, 24/7, continuous global exchange that is driven entirely by data. You simply cannot apply old-school analytics to a boundary network reality. It just doesn't work. The shift is total, and understanding this stark contrast is an absolutely crucial prerequisite before we move forward.
So, that brings us to phase two, modern transactions. Here, we really need to appreciate the new mechanism and deeply understand how business is conducted nowadays. And look, we aren't just talking about swiping a credit card online. Appreciating this mechanism means looking at the invisible gears turning beneath the surface. Things like instant global payment gateways, algorithmic pricing, automated supply chains, and real-time consumer tracking. Literally every single click, every fraction of a second you spend hovering over a product is a data point driving a transaction. That is the reality of how business is conducted today. It's this highly sophisticated, constantly evolving mechanism of digital exchange, and it's honestly fascinating.
All right, moving right along to phase three, the now what?
And this brings us to our ultimate destination, the future of business analytics. You can't just jump straight into predicting what's next. The future isn't some separate, isolated topic, and it's definitely not a magic trick. It's the logical, inevitable outcome of deeply understanding the present. Because you've learned the new boundary paradigm, and because you've fully grasped how modern digital transaction mechanisms actually function, well, now you have the foundation to see exactly where analytics must go. The future of the field relies entirely on adapting to these constantly shifting digital boundaries.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought. How will you navigate the boundary network? The internet has fundamentally reset the boundaries of our reality. The mechanisms of daily transactions are moving faster and growing more complex by the minute. The future of business analytics is waiting for those who truly understand this framework. So ask yourself, are you just going to exist within this boundary network, or are you going to use analytics to master it?